Not sure who to bring in ahead of double game week 28? Here are the best transfer tips to help you win your mini leagues and climb the ranks. Let's get into it.
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
Good day, mate. Welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Rue, and welcome back to another FPL video. So in today's video, we're going to be going through my transfer tips for game week 28. It is a double game week, so Bournemouth and Luton will be doubling. Obviously, Bournemouth have the better fixtures. They have 2 home games, whereas Luton have 2 away games. We do feature a couple Bournemouth and Luton options in this video. But first of all, I did want to start with Awoniyi, the Nottingham Forest forward. So a lot of people, I won't say, I guess, have been going for Nottingham Forest options recently. They've been a bit poor all season, but I think recently they've started to get a few wins. I'd say, obviously under Nuno, they do look much better than they did under Steve Cooper when they went on that horrible run. Awoniyi has been injured for most of that horrible run, and since he's been back, they've been picking up results here and there. Still not perfect, don't get me wrong, but they have definitely improved since Awoniyi has been back. This season, he scored 6 goals and 3 assists in 12 starts, which is a really, really nice return. And his expected goal involvement is 0.45, which is basically a goal or assist every other game. So for that price point of 6.3 million and only 1.6% owned, I think he could be a nice option over the next 4 game weeks. He's got Brighton away. We all know how leaky Brighton's defence is, and especially with Europe starting up soon. Mayday rest players could be. Then they got Luton away in the blank game week, which is a big fixture. Yes, Luton are half decent at home, but yeah, Forest for me can actually put up a good performance against anyone, and you don't really know which Luton's going to turn up. Sometimes they're not too good, sometimes they're good, but at home you probably fancy Luton to be good. But yeah, I think Awoniyi can do damage against anyone. Then they've got Palace at home, which is a very good game. I know they've got a new manager now, which they do look like they've improved slightly. But you've got to, I guess, fancy Forest at home to get a good result out of that. It's a home game. They're going to need to kind of get results in their home games to basically stay up and not have to worry about the drop. And then they've got Fulham at home, and we know Fulham do concede goals. So some really nice fixtures for Awoniyi. Like I said, his scoring form this season when he started has been very good. He should be on penalties. Maybe shares them with Gibbs White, but he should be on penalties. And for me, he plays teams that do leak goals, and I think he can be a really nice option. Obviously, though, a lot of people are going to go for Watkins and Ivan Toney for blank game week 29 if you're not free hitting. Even if you are free hitting, I'm guessing you're going to go for Toney and Watkins as 2 of your front 3. So there is a spot for a third forward, I feel like. And I think Awoniyi can fit that if you're not free hitting, because the fixtures in and around that game week 29 fixture, and even the game week 29 fixture in itself, is really good. And I can see Awoniyi getting a few points in that. There is someone else who might fill that third forward spot a little bit better, and we'll get onto him next. Carlton Morris, the Luton forward, comes in at 5.1 million and 4.3% owned. He does have a double game week this game week in game week 28 with Crystal Palace away and Bournemouth away. So albeit not the perfect game week, but it is still a very good game week. I know Palace have had a little new manager bounce. They do look a bit better. Bournemouth are not too bad defensively. I actually think they're a decent team. I know they've been on a bad run of form as well. But I think the critical thing with this is they do play Forest in game week 29. I know I've just said Awoniyi has a good fixture against Luton, but they're both forwards, and I think they both will concede goals in that game. So for me, it kind of makes it a tough decision of who to go for. Obviously, by going Carlton Morris over Awoniyi, you do get an extra fixture. However, the fixtures in game week 30 and 31 are horrible for Morris. It has Spurs away and Arsenal away, so you can't really see him getting anything out of the Arsenal game. Spurs maybe, with how Spurs have been defensively this season, but for me, it's not ideal, and you probably much rather Awoniyi for that. So it is a tight decision, but if you are playing your wild card in game week 30 or game week 31, then potentially it could be worth going for Carlton Morris just to get that extra fixture. He is on penalties, so that is another bonus where Awoniyi he could potentially share it with Morgan Gibbs-White. This season, 7 goals, 6 assists for Carlton Morris in only 19 starts. So that's 13 returns in 19, which is very, very good. In terms of expected goal involvements, is 0.44, so nearly a return every other game, which is, again, really good for someone that does play for Luton. But for me, again, this is going to be a third striker spot. I think Watkins is going to be locked in for game week 29, and I think Ivan Toney is going to be locked in for game week 29. This is whether you're playing your free hit or not. If you're obviously not playing your free hit, then I'd probably go for Carlton Morris just to get that extra fixture. If you are playing your free hit, then it could be worth going for Awoniyi because you have 2 great fixtures after game week 29 as well. But yeah, I think the extra fixture now, you never know what can happen. Awoniyi could get injured. So I think it's best to just take the extra fixture now and run. And it is a pretty good double game week for Luton. Obviously, they're not the best team in the league, but I think Carlton Morris can actually get a few goals in these games, and especially game week 29 against Forest at home. I think that is a massive, massive game for Luton that they're going to need to both teams are going to need to win. So it's going to be a tough game, and I can see there being goals in that one. So Muniz, the Fulham forward, comes in at only 4.5 million, which is an absolute bargain, and 1.9% owned. The fixtures are not the best, to be honest, for Muniz. But I think Fulham are actually playing half decent at the moment, and I think that him at that price point can be another option to play as a third striker. I know I'm talking a lot about third strikers, but I honestly think Toney and Watkins should be locked in for game week 29, and I think Solanke should be locked in for game week 28. Muniz didn't get a return against Man United in game week 26, but he should have. But before that, he has been on fire, to be honest. 4 goals in 7 starts. The fixtures for Fulham, again, like I said, are a bit of a mixed bag. Wolves away. Wolves can be a tough place to go to, but they do concede goals. Spurs at home, again, Spurs can concede goals. Sheffield United away and Forest away. So really it is them 2 fixtures after the blank that can do the business for Muniz. Potentially, he could be the key to you getting Salah and Haaland in your team. You're going to need a cheap striker. You're going to need a striker that you can maybe play in the odd game here and there. I think he can do that. I can't really see Broja getting back in that team. I think he just gives Fulham so much, and his link up play, his aerial presence in the box. I just think he's playing too well at the moment for Fulham to not play this guy, and he's getting on the score sheet as well. So for me, if you are looking for a third striker, that does save you a lot of money and potentially mean you get Salah and Haaland back in your team. Obviously, when Salah is back to fitness, then I think Muniz can be the guy. If not, I know I've spoken about Awoniyi and Carlton Morris. I'd probably go for Carlton Morris if you are wildcarding in game week 30 or 31, and I'd go for Awoniyi if you're not. Next up, we've got another double game week player. We've got Senesi, comes in at 4.5 million and 3.4% owned. So there's been a lot of talk about this guy. And to be honest, he's someone I've owned in my team since I wildcarded my first wildcard in game week 20. 2 brilliant fixtures for him. Sheffield United at home and Luton at home. You couldn't really ask for better fixtures. I know I've just said Carlton Morris is an option, but I think over the 2, it's not too bad of an option, and especially that fixture in game week 29 for him. But Senesi, I think, still can be a good option too. I think he's going to get at least 1 clean sheet in that game week 28 double. Obviously, he does blank in 29, so those that are, I guess, playing your free hit, it might be a bit of a easier move to bring in. And then he's got Everton at home and Palace at home in game weeks 30 and 31. A lot of people have been talking about other options in the Bournemouth defence just because they are a little bit worried about Senesi's yellow card problem. So he is racking up yellow cards, and he is close to reaching 10. If he does get 10, he will end up missing 2 games. So a lot of people are worried about that. But for me, I actually don't see there being another option defensively for Bournemouth apart from maybe Neto. In terms of the defence, though, Senesi's clear of the next best defender in terms of expected goal involvement. So for the whole season, it's 2.76, where the next best is Adam Smith, which he doesn't really play that much, 13 starts, and his was 0.9 compared to Senesi's 2.76. So way clear of that. Obviously, Senesi's played a few more games, which does, I guess, impact it a bit, but it's only 5 more games. And for me, Senesi is well clear of someone like Adam Smith, and I think he is the key Bournemouth defender to go to. I know there is issues with the yellow cards, but for me, it is worth it. He's Bournemouth's 3rd top scorer this season, which is incredible. I don't know what that says about Bournemouth, but it is still incredible. And in terms of assist, he's well up there as well with 2. So for me, I think Senesi is a clear best option if you want to go for a Bournemouth defender. If you want to go for a goalkeeper, I don't mind Neto, but for me, I think Senesi is attacking enough to warrant going for him and risking that yellow card. So Eze is looking to come back from injury now. It is obviously a bit rough because when he did come back from injury last time, he did get injured pretty soon after that. But if he is back, then that's 6 million and that low ownership of 2.6% owned. I think he actually can be a really nice option if you are free hitting in game week 29, because he has Luton at home in game week 28. And then after that, after the blank, he's got Forest away and then Bournemouth away. So some really nice fixtures for him there. I actually think Eze such a baller. I had him in my team from the start of the season. I think he's basically involved in everything good Palace end up doing. Obviously, he's been injured for a lot of the season. He's only started 13 games, but he's still got 5 goals, 2 assists, which is really nice. In terms of expected goal involvements, is 0.59. So over a return every other game, which is really good for a number 8, essentially what he is. However, I am a bit worried about his injury. Like I said, when he came back last time, he got injured pretty much straight away. Whether he's going to be slowly introduced back now after his hamstring injury, I'm not too sure. So it is a big risk. But if he is kind of cleared fit to play, if you think that he is worth the risk with them fixtures with Luton, Forest and Bournemouth, then I think he can be a really nice differential. He's going to be on set pieces. He's going to be on pens. He's going to be on free kicks. Now that Elise is out, he's going to be Palace's only bright spark in terms of attack. He's playing under a new manager, a new system. Yeah, I think he can be a really nice differential for your team. However, like I said, the injury is a worry. The fact that Elise is probably going to be out for a long time, way longer than I guess Eze's out for. So Eze will be back before him. Gayhe's out as well. So Palace do have a few injuries, but I think Eze is the type of player to kind of pick up the team and trying to drag them to get a few results. And for me, yeah, I do really like him as a differential if you are playing your free hit in game week 29. So Jared Bowen, the 7.7 million midfielder, comes in at 17.6% owned with, I guess, a mixed bag of fixtures. But the crucial thing is he does play in game week 29. So if you're not playing your free hit, he could be someone nice to go for. If you are, I wouldn't be getting them in. No way. I don't think the fixtures are that nice. I know Burnley at home does look very tempting for Jared Bowen. But Villa at home, again, not bad. But Newcastle away, Spurs at home, I'd like a bit better if I did want to, I guess, bring him in with basically free hitting in game week 29. Obviously, West Ham have been on a bit of a poor run, but they have turned it around a little bit recently with, I guess, a good win against Brentford. Scored 4 goals. Bowen got the hat trick. 14 goals now for Bowen, 2 assists in 25 starts. His expected goal involvements is 0.48. So again, around a return every other game. And the fixtures, albeit not the best, I actually think Bowen, it could actually benefit Bowen because Burnley at home, very good fixture. Villa at home, Villa are not like they are away from home. Europe's going to be starting soon. I know West Ham are in Europe too, but I think West Ham have a bit more experience in it, so that I think they'll be able to handle it a bit more than Aston Villa. I can't remember last time Aston Villa were in kind of a knockout European game. Newcastle away, I just don't know what Newcastle are going to turn up. They're conceding goals for fun at the minute, and yeah, Eddie Howe is surely on the ropes for his job. So I'm not too sure how that game can be, but I can definitely see Bowen scoring in that. And Spurs at home, that's West Ham's cup final. They're going to be up for that. Spurs leak goals, and yeah, that game's a midweek game, so it'll be a night game as well. So the atmosphere definitely plays a key part in that one. So that can be goals in that too. And then even after that, game week 32, Wolves away, Fulham at home 33, Palace away in 34. So there are some good fixtures after that. However, the last 4 games for West Ham are horrific: Liverpool, Chelsea, Luton, and Man City. So yeah, Bowen, I do like. If I'm on the free hit though in 29, I won't be going for him. If not, then he's got a fixture in 29. He's got Burnley at home, and then he's got other fixtures against 2 teams that do concede goals. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree with some of these transfer thoughts? And if you are new to the channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and smash a like on this video. Let's try and get it to 30 likes. And good luck for the game week.